Well, we're starting off Tuesday morning. Not so great. This is 2 trips in a row up here, 2 completely different times of the year when the weather has completely screwed me. This time, even worse than last time, because now I'm in the middle of it and I can't outrun it. This is unreal. Started out a week ago. I waited as long as I could to book stuff. Weather looked great. Yesterday, obviously absolutely perfect. Forecast said, maybe some rain late today. Figured no big deal. I'll be in a hotel by then. Last night, weather updated to heavy rains between 4 and 7 a.m. Getting a little bit worse for the rest of the week. Okay, still not too bad. I'll just adjust my plans a little bit. I get up this morning. Now the area is covered in the nasty radar, getting worse. It's already rained a little bit. It's about 7:30 right now. And now it says severe floods to last for days in the entire freaking South. Now there has been a huge storm and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And even if I went home right now, I'm going to get soaked. So I'm here. I may as well try to ride the roads, see how they are. There's no leaves to worry about. It's just water. So I don't know. I'll give it a shot. But here's my plans now. I do have to cut the whole thing short at least a day. But I'm going to hit the Dragon. I'm going to hit the Cherohala because I'm right here. It's not like I have to go through crap to get here like I would have last time. That was horrible. But I can't win. Let me show you what I'm dealing with. So here's down here right around the letter T. That's where I am. The road to get me here winds out and ends up right about here. So this is 129. From this point forward, up is the tail of the Dragon, and you just go south a little bit here to get onto the Cherohala. So what I'm going to do, because what I was originally going to do is maybe do a couple loops or something like that. I was talking to the people here that own this bed and breakfast, and they said, oh, you know what, the roads that connect the end of the tail of the Dragon and all the way down here, these roads are horrible they're boring, and there's no point in even riding them. So what you want to do is just do a U drive. Because this connector here, that's not bad. That's what I rode to get to this place. So I just planned on doing this a couple times. Well, I was going to end up here and then go this way on the Blueridge over to Asheville, which is off the map a little bit. But it's going to start like thunderstorming tomorrow, so I don't even want to be around here by then. So my plan is to wind my way back here. I'm going to go up, do the Dragon twice, once each way, and then do the Cherohala, and I'll leave from here to go home. I think this road will probably take me director home. Yeah. Oh, let's see the radar. See if it's gotten any better. Nope. Lovely. So yeah, that just changed since I went to sleep. Now it's rained all day, and the forecast says the same thing. So you can see where I am. And I click the future, and it just gets worse. And the big old headline on the front page of weather.com: severe flood threats to last for days. Yay. Well, here comes the not fun part. Wet, loose, gravel, steep going down. I will tell you guys about the hotel as soon as I make it through this. I don't really want to talk right now. Not looking forward to this part. I'm feathering the rear brake, trying to fight my urge to grab the front. And I'm really glad I installed this light clutch. I'm just feathering the friction zone. It is really freaking steep. I know the camera's not showing it. This part's a little flatter. And I'm drifting to the left because it's just sliding me. Alright, feet are down. See if I can just coast down. Holy crap. Alright, does that give you a better clue on the camera? How steep this is? I think I'm just going to ride the front brake and coast down. It's probably the safest way. I got my feet scraping the gravel in case I even start to slide. Oh, there was a slide. Man, it started to pick up speed there even though I'm on the brake. This sucks. This really sucks. This is the absolute #1 reason they are not booking motorcyclists and never will. And they don't own the road, so it's not going to be paved. Oh man. I'm just fighting the thing trying to slide. You need an off-road bike for this. I don't know if you can see the rut down the middle from somebody else, but it's deep. Oh, there's the road. Actually, that rut was probably me going up, come to think of it, because it dug in. It was just like loamy sand. That's how thick this freaking gravel pack is. It's loose. Okay. So right now, the rain is not bad. It's just a drizzle. And in this immediate area in Robbinsville, it looks like this is all it's going to do all morning, and the afternoon is going to clear up. But if you look at a forecast for Deals Gap, it's different, and that's only 10 miles, 15 miles. Ah, crap, I forgot my phone to put it up here. Alright, I gotta pull off, and I've got water all over my visor. Rain's so much fun. I don't envy everybody that has to ride in wet weather. This is just not anywhere near the level of enjoyment you get out of good conditions. I'm just gonna look for a paved road to pull off on and hook up my phone. Gotta remember where I put my power cord. I pulled it in for the night because I knew it was going to be raining. It's okay when it's plugged into the phone. It stays waterproof. I don't want the connectors getting all wet though. And man, you gotta be careful this time because it hasn't rained here in a while, they said. And with it just starting, all the oils and grease come to the surface of the roads. So this is why it's not as fun. You can't take the roads and use the full performance of your bike. You gotta baby it. Just because of safety. I have confidence in the tires. I don't have confidence in roads that I've never ridden. And I'm not sure of the conditions. So I think I'm going to stick to my latest plan. I'll go up, out of here, back to where I was for lunch yesterday, start the Dragon, go to the end, turn around, do the Dragon again the other way. I don't know if they're going to have any pictures out today. I doubt it, since it's crappy weather. The only plus side is there's probably going to be hardly anybody on the road. So that'll be kind of cool. And then I'll come down past here and do the Cherohala Skyway, go to the end of that, and go home from there, wherever that ends up, and skip Asheville, unfortunately. Road feels good. I mean, it's not even slightly slippery, at least up here. This particular road, this is the weird one I came in on. It's got almost like a gritty grading to it. It was kind of bumpy coming in, but here with it wet, it's got really good grip. I'm still not going to tear around these corners though, because there's a lot of standing water. So I'll pick this up once I get back into Deals Gap, and we'll start the Dragon in the rain. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys about the hotel. I didn't want to do an update there because everyone would hear me. Okay, it's not really a hotel. It's a nice big cabin. All right, so it's a converted private residence. I didn't know this when I booked it. I booked on Expedia, and it just came up as a normal motel for the area. And it just wasn't clear that they only have
3 rooms. They have 2 downstairs rooms that I'm assuming are smaller, and here's why. I didn't actually look at them because there were 2 guys in there. The 2 guys in there were hiking the Appalachian... God, why can't I say this word? Appalachian Trail. And if you book as a hiker, they have a real comprehensive guidebook that they all follow. This place is listed in there, and it's $60 a night. You know, perfectly reasonable, on par with normal cheap motels, whatever. But it includes everything. It includes your meals. We had dinner last night, fantastic dinner. It's really good. Had a full-on breakfast spread this morning. Okay, truck. That's why you stay off the center lines. And I wasn't kidding about these roads being narrow. They are freaking narrow. So we had 2 great meals, free beer. Had a bunch of beers last night. I enjoyed some cigars. I did a cigar video out on their deck. Great place to hang out. I mean, real comfy furniture. And my room, at least, was huge. It was a proper bed and breakfast. But found out I don't really like bed and breakfast. I like privacy. I like having my own everything, shut the door, and I'm in my own world, do what I want to do, not hear anybody, no one hears me, you know, just, that's what I'm used to. Well, this is shared living space, obviously, it's a house. Even though I did have my own bathroom because I had the only upstairs room, I had the upstairs bathroom, I still had to go down a hallway to get to it. So, you know, you got to throw on clothes, and it's a big open balcony and living room and everything. And it's just less convenient than having your own room in bathroom in a motel room. You know what I'm talking about. It's just different. But if you were a couple and, you know, hanging out there, I think it would be great. But I'm just using it basically to sleep. And others would, in the area, want to use it as a base of operations. Well, the road alone absolutely kills that idea for any kind of motorcyclist. Just forget about it. I would not want to go back up there just because of that road. The place was great. If that was a paved road, that'd be awesome. I'd recommend it all day for those that want a bed and breakfast. But even if you do love bed and breakfast, that road, just forget it. It's terrible. It's not their fault, but it is what it is. But you have to love nature. It was kind of like camping indoors. Lots of creepy crawlies. I killed 3 spiders and a hornet in the bathroom alone. You had mosquitoes and everything in the bedroom. Luckily, mosquitoes kind of leave me alone. And once I turned out the lights, I didn't hear them anymore buzzing around my head. I was on the computer in bed for a little while. They were all hitting it. But my wife would have wanted to go somewhere else because she gets eaten up by mosquitoes. We had bats in the ceiling. At first I thought they were in the room. It was a huge vaulted ceiling. I'm pretty sure I showed you that on the video. And it sounded like they were right up there on the light. I don't know how it was transmitting so clearly through the roof. It was just a real thin wood roof, obviously, but it sounded like they were in the room. It was freaking me out. But they were definitely not in the room, but really loud all night, squeaking and scratching. So that would freak a lot of people out. But anyway, these guys only paid $60 being hikers and included everything. I paid $130 for the room, booking as a non-hiker, and that's the listed rate everywhere on all the websites. And dinner was an extra $15, so it was $145 for me. Yeah, pretty much the same experience. The only difference being the downstairs rooms probably didn't have a sitting area. I only had one bed. It wasn't like it was anything special about the actual sleeping accommodations. So I guess I paid, what, $70 thereabouts to have a chair in my room. Other than that, it was the same thing. But everything was top quality, excellent food, really good breakfast. They had smoked salmon and cream cheese and bagels and cereal and coffee and whatever you wanted, fresh fruit, watermelon, a fruit bowl, whatever you were into, they had. I'm not a breakfast person, unless it's biscuits and gravy, then I couldn't resist. So I just had my coffee. And I wanted to get out before this got any worse. I got a late start. My alarm went off at 7, but I did not get much sleep. There wasn't anything to do. Oh, here's the other thing. I specifically booked this place as opposed to another one that I was looking at in the area because they were the closest to Deals Gap, and they were the only one that offered free Wi-Fi. The other ones, which is very common for the area, like I said, had no internet. So I knew I wanted internet, so I chose this one. And this wasn't even the most expensive one. Didn't really care about the price. I'm not complaining about the price. I'm just saying there's a weird difference there. So I get here and I say, yeah, what's the Wi-Fi password? And he says, oh yeah, about that. They have satellite internet and they have a 10 gig per month total limit that they have to budget for. And that includes their phone service and everything. So that means email only. And it's pretty much dial-up speed. I mean, if you're used to any kind of modern internet, it's better than nothing, I'll tell you that. And because I have the iPhone, I had phone calls over Wi-Fi, so even though there's no cell coverage around here, even in Deals Gap, there's nothing, I could call home because they had Wi-Fi. It was good enough for that, but that's it. So bear that in mind if you're coming to this area. Internet access is pretty much non-existent. So is cell coverage. And what I had to do is, even yesterday with my phone plugged in the bike, I forgot to turn on the GPS again. Because I had GPS running all the time for my tracking and my TomTom, and because it had no cell service, the radio's constantly searching, it was just sucking down the battery. So bear that in mind too. I just put it in airplane mode. There's no point in wasting the battery. As soon as I get to the end of this road, there's no place to turn off so far. I need to get the phone going, turn on my tracking so everybody that I'm pinging out to can see that I'm moving again. I know there are lots of different applications you can use for tracking. I use a site called Spotwalla. You can set up your own trip and parameters, track what you want to track, and then Android and iPhone each have different apps that you can use, and you just basically turn on a button to start tracking and it will ping. You can set it however many minutes you want. I think I have it on the default every 10 minutes. And what it does is, even if you don't have internet access or cell service, it'll store it in the phone until you do it. It just buffers the status updates. And then anyone with the link you give out, or you can make it public, can see a map of where you've been. You can have it draw a line. You can show stats at each stop, whatever you want to do. I just have it show the points, connect the dots, and that's it. Just so everyone can see where I was going and where I am. But it's a lot simpler and cooler for doing trips, and it's specifically for motorcycle trips and stuff like that. So it's not like Find My iPhone or Find My Friends where it's just a live map of where you are. It's actually for doing trips. It's really cool, and it's free, so it works. And the app is called SW Connect, if you want to find it in the App Store. I think it's called the same thing on Android, but I'm not 100% sure. Ooh, really grooved concrete coming through here. Wasn't on the other side, but I can feel them giving me a shimmy. So this is about how fast I'm going to be going through the Dragon, I'm sure. 25-30 max. So it's a good thing it's a 30-mile-an-hour limit. I'm not even going to be tempted to speed through it. It's nice having the tree cover. It is sheltering me quite a bit from the rain. So that's good. I remember last time when I hit the freeway, man, it was just like somebody spraying me with a hose. And man, going around the Blueridge, when I was in that just sheet rain where I couldn't even see, that really slows you down, man. That wears you down too. This is actually fine to ride through. Obviously dry as a bone, And my visor isn't even getting too bad. I'm sure there's some drops on the GoPro. Sorry about that. That's the way it's going to be today. How did that car sneak up behind me? No headlights. That's smart. Okay, we're going to go right north on 129 again. Yep, I'm going to blow that stop sign. Deal with it. Now we can catch a little time here and catch a pull-off. These big pipes are for water for the hydro plants. They must be using it for momentum or something. I can't imagine it's a water supply, although it might be. Whatever it is, it's a huge volume. I see them at every dam. I think I've passed 2 of them so far. Okay, now we'll pick it up when I get into Deals Gap. There we go. Back on track. I just set it to a point on the map at the end of the Dragon there. So that's how far I've got to go. It's only a couple miles up to the start of it. This isn't it yet. Alright, well, I just had a minor heart attack. See that white truck? No, not that one. The one that just passed him. It was a cop. You can see how fast I'm going. I might have hit 35 there. This is 129, so it is the same road as Tail of the Dragon. It's 30 miles an hour. And I see his little flashing lights flick on there. I saw him come up behind me real quick. And then I had to take a double take because I saw the lights on. I'm like, what the you gotta be kidding me. So I pulled off. He went around me. I'm looking at my speed going, am I nuts? I mean, you guys know I typically speed, but I'm specifically not on this trip. So yeah, my heart was beating kind of fast there. A little confused. So here's Deals Gap. Let's see how busy the parking lot is today. Not at all. Nobody's outside. So here we go. I guess, wow, that's even closed today. I guess what I'm going to do is just one run here. Taking it easy, of course. You guys can see what it's like in the rain at least. Welcome to Tennessee. Man, I bet this is fun in the dry. Got a little bump there right at the apex. I bet that's messed a few people up. Not sure if that's it or not. It kind of looked like the end there on the map. Thought there'd be a building or something. Doesn't look like there's too many more twisties going on down here. So I think I'll turn around and go back in.